I can't reiterate the fact of how important it is to have a team around you, because to be able to grow and to provide everything that you want to provide for your clients, it can't solely just rest on you.
Welcome to Real Success Stories. My name is John Wadsworth, president of Strawn & Company Insurance. I'll be your host as we bring you exciting content featuring exceptional individuals and organizations. Throughout my professional career, I've witnessed many talented people build successful businesses and significantly impact their communities. We will now have the opportunity to bring these stories to you. We have the privilege of speaking with business owners and highly successful individuals who are involved in a wide variety of industries. We will see success defined in many different ways. Our guests will share their stories of how they built their businesses to reveal strategies that you can duplicate in your endeavors. We'll get to experience the human side of success as we identify the challenges and obstacles that entrepreneurs endure. We will see the thin line that separates giving up from true success. Along the way, we'll have the opportunity to speak with nonprofit organizations that are creating opportunities for success in their communities. Another goal of this program is to give these great organizations broader exposure and awareness to help continue their success. As a listener, we hope you feel encouraged to support the organizations that we feature. Through this open and honest forum, we aim to build community and foster success among all who wish to pursue their dreams. You will hear real success stories of people just like you and me. Thanks for listening, and check back regularly for new episodes. Make it a great day. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Real Success Stories. I hope that you're having a great day. I'm your host, John Wadsworth, and we're very excited to welcome today's guest, Michelle Amarra, president of SCB Video TV Marketing. Michelle, thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm excited to be here today.
Yes, ma'am. I'm kind of excited to kind of flip the roles here. Granted, this is audio only, but with what you and your crew do, producing video and marketing content, and of course we've had the pleasure of working with you in the past. I've had the opportunity to sit and answer questions and sweat under the lights and the camera, and so now we get to kind of turn that around a little bit.
I know it is feeling a little hot in here. I was telling one of the guys on the team that I was doing an interview. They're like, "Are you interviewing someone?" And I'm like, "No, I'm being interviewed." It's a little different for me, but we're excited to share about the great things that's happening at SCB.
Absolutely, and we're certainly excited to have you here with us today and to hear about what all you guys have going on. So, kind of, as an intro for our listeners, for those who may not be familiar with SCB, tell us a little bit about the company and what all you guys have to offer.
So SCB Video TV Marketing is a full-service video production company and marketing firm. We provide content creation services for businesses. There's a lot of video production crews that are out there. They do wedding videos, they do music videos, they do short films. Well, something that we really specialize in and pride ourselves in is that we are specific to corporate content. So that really is our niche. And we can work with any type of business to create video, photo, and graphic content that you can use to properly promote your brand. And as you know, right now, content is everything with the way the market is. And so making sure that you have the content that catches the attention of the people that you want it to catch the attention of is really key. And so we really work with our clients to come up with that content and help make it a comfortable environment for them. A lot of times they don't know where to start. But that's what we're here to do. We kind of know the basic that they can use to get started with, or we can, do everything, put all the bells and whistles on it. And then once we create that content, for a long time, we would create these great videos and clients wouldn't really know what to do with them beyond that. So we actually recently brought in some digital specialists. We've got a web designer on staff and a digital specialist on staff to where now we handle the marketing as well. So we can definitely do media buys, television buys, social media management, website. So really a full service company that can provide all your marketing. And in fact, that's kind of what our campaign is this year. We've got a new campaign that's launching, and it's called We're More Than One Team. We're 9 experts in our field. So it's kind of like you don't just get one team, you get 9 experts, because a lot of companies can hire one marketing person. You can hire a marketing person to come in, making $60,000, $70,000 a year, but they're not going to have the experience or the knowledge of a 9-person team that specializes in that field. And so that's one of the benefits, in working with a team like us, is that you do get the knowledge, the experience, the creativity, right? And then a lot of times it's at a less cost than what a salary person is that has 50% of the
Certainly.
experience.
So you hit on something there that I saw reviewing y'all's website, and I'd like for you to dive in a little bit, is you mentioned your 9 experts. And, certainly I encourage everybody to go to the website to see more about Michelle's team. But tell us a little bit about your team and maybe what some of those individual members bring to the table with their skill sets and expertise.
Absolutely. So we'll start with video because video's kind of been our world always. So on our video team, we've got a creative director. His name is James Fitzgibbon. He's got years of experience in marketing and video production. He actually worked at Harley for years, managing their marketing, but he wanted to dive more into video content. So he's there as our creative director. We've got Julia and Justice, who's also on our production team. They're both phenomenal. We call Justice, little J, we call him our B-roll guy, because there's something about that beautiful shot that you can get that covers, a plate of food, or maybe that's like a smiling customer, that really catches the attention of the person on the other side of the screen. And that's really his expertise, is getting those tight shots that really tell the story and the experience that the company offers. Julia, she's a colorist. She's newest to our team. She started as an intern, but she definitely brings so much to the table. She's organized. She has a great creative eye. She likes the details of the color, because what people don't realize is that you can change the color of a video and change the tone altogether.
Okay.
So she loves that kind of thing. So she's definitely a blessing for our team. We've got a great video team. Our photo team, we have 2 different photographers. One is like corporate content, and then her name's Dana. Brittany has a little bit more of an edge to her. So we've done, content for all different types of businesses, anywhere from like Strawn, an insurance company, right?
Yep.
To we just got finished wrapping a project for a heavy duty truck repair center that does 18-wheeler engine repairs. Okay, so I'm not going to, we have a different photographer for those 2 scenes. You know what I mean? There's one that would do great with the insurance, but there's that other one that has that little bit of an edge for those types of businesses. So it's good to have those kind of people on staff to where we can pull whichever style we're looking for, because the client's needs are definitely different. There's myself and Karen, who we do the sales and project management, customer management. And then we have a web designer, Ann, and she does all of our web design, anywhere from e-commerce sites to simple one-page landing pages. And then we've got our digital specialist, who she does all of our social media.
Okay.
So we've got a great team, and we've come a long way. A lot of people might not know, but SCB started as a local television station.
Yes.
And so what I always say is that, we just happened to be in the video business whenever video marketing took off. So what we've been able to do is just we switched our business around a little bit, and we went from the television station to a full business marketing. We've got the experts on staff, and so we're able to really do some cool things for our clients.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. So your ties to Henry County in the south side of Atlanta are deep. You grew up here, and kind of tell us, about how you went from one of the kids here in Henry County to, what these amazing things you're doing with SCB now. How did you get to where you are today?
It's like a long story. It's a really long story. How long you got, John? No, I know that. And even like in the questions that you sent me, it was kind of like talk about your professional career. But, my passions were showing kind of in high school because I was always involved in theater.
Okay.
So if you think about theater and then you think about video production, they really go hand in hand, because I could really be like on stage, or I was the stage manager. Very much like I could be on camera, or I could be the producer behind the video, you know? So my passions really started showing like in high school and middle school, college as well. I was really involved in theater. Then I worked in logistics for a while. It was just like an industry that I went into. I loved what I did. It was a lot of high pressure. I was actually a licensed custom broker. We did a lot of logistical things, a lot of putting pieces together. What people don't realize is that, video is a lot of scheduling. And it's a lot of coordinating, and it's a lot of logistics. So I really feel like the skills that I learned then really were preparing me for where I got with SCB. I moved to Henry County whenever I was in middle school. And other than then, I've lived here most of my life. I graduated from Eagles Landing High School. I went to Gordon College. I worked in logistics at the airport on the south side of Atlanta. So I've always kind of been in this area. I took some time off when I had my daughter, and then this opportunity just kind of came up with my career path. I was working with Get Set Grow. I don't know if you know.
Absolutely.
Get Set Grow. So the same people that own Get Set Grow owned SCB, and that's how I got into the whole thing of SCB and the television station. But, Get Set Grow taught me, what it was to be part of a community. Because it was, for people that don't know, Get Set Grow was a company that did events for nonprofits. I think that was whenever I really started diving into the community part of it. And then coming to find out I knew everybody around here because we all went to school and was still, around Henry County. It was just really good to be able to get in and serve in different aspects. And, I live in Henry. I work in Henry. My daughter goes to school. My whole life happens in 10 to 12 miles.
Yes.
I live, my job, my daughter's school is all very close together. And I love where I live. I really do. I mean, I'm really a McDonough girl at heart. I know that sounds so funny. But like I said, I graduated from school around here. And it's just great to come back. And then when I'm in the community to see so many people that I went to school with that have a local chicken wing restaurant, or they're the local barber, or they sit on city council. It's just like great to be able to see people that I grew up with still be part of this community. And I think that's a lot of what McDonough offers. There's a lot of people that have moved here, but there's really a lot of people that have been here a long time too.
Absolutely. And that was something that we touched on prior to starting the recording. Is very similar. My family moved to McDonough when I was in the 5th grade. Went through school here, went away to college for a couple of years and came back. And the same thing. My wife works in Henry County. My daughter goes to school in Henry County. I work and we live in Henry County. We attend church in Henry County. And it really is something special to have a place where it impacts all parts of your life.
Absolutely.
And to be anchored is so nice. And I think it gives you the comfort and the opportunity to see what you can do, and certainly what you're doing with SCB. Yes, we certainly will attest to that. That in fact, I especially like your comment about the scheduling skills that you learned in logistics, because herding this group of cats here at Strawn and Company was quite the task. So hats off on that. Yeah,
right, absolutely. So, and I didn't realize that until me. I'm a creative by nature, so like all of those kind of things are like foreign to me, and I want to know. But I did learn the skills, and it was something that is important, in putting the pieces together, because people don't realize how much work really goes into putting the content together. We don't just show up with the cameras. Like, most of the work's done before the cameras hit the floor. I mean, honestly.
Yes.
So we've scheduled the location. We've reviewed with who's going to be interviewed. We've created questions. We know what we're going to get. We know where the cameras are going to be set up. Really, the cameras come in maybe 60% through the job. Once the cameras get there, it's the easy part. I say that, but I'm not the one editing. But there's definitely a lot of pieces of the puzzle to put together.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I think for a business owner who's trying to operate their business,
right,
they don't have the time, let alone the expertise, to organize all that and make it happen. And so I think that's where, certainly speaking for us, that's where SCB really was just a blessing, and really a great experience for us. So,
well, I appreciate that. And it's kind of like I've always said, if you guys just let us guide you through the process, like, we'll make it easy. And it's just kind of the hardest part is getting people comfortable on camera, because
absolutely.
That's what's going to come across the best way but we really work hard at making people feel comfortable and letting them know that, we've got you. If it doesn't work out in the interview, we'll fix it in post. Like, that's an ongoing tagline that we say, we'll fix it in post, because we can do that. You know what I mean? On the post-production side.
Yeah.
And so we love working with companies like Strawn, because you guys have a great story to tell. And that's what people respond to with video production nowadays.
So a comment you made there, and I'm going to paraphrase because I'm sure I won't repeat it verbatim, but I think it's really important, and I think it's something that also extends to every business owner when they're looking for a professional service, is if the client will allow us to guide them. And I think that's such a critical concept, one, is for anybody, whether you're an individual or a business or whatever. If you're the customer or the client, allow your service provider to guide you.
Absolutely. Like, I'm definitely not going to call you guys and tell you what kind of insurance I need to have, because I have no idea, but I trust you as a reputable company in the community to be able to give me what's best for our business. And I really do trust that. And that's one of the things that I've done some classes on video. Make sure that when you're picking a video production company, find somebody that you trust, because it's so important to be able just to say, okay, I trust you to get us through the process because I'm not sure where to start. It's okay to say that.
And I think generally speaking, people take that, they extend the trust, they allow the guidance from their CPA and their attorney, as they should.
Right.
Every business owner should absolutely have their CPA and their attorney. The more that a business owner takes that idea of, I'm trusting someone to guide me with any professional service, I think the more they're going to build long-term relationships, and the more they're going to allow the professionals they hire to do the best job.
Absolutely.
Insurance is not a one-time review, one-time purchase. Your taxes don't get done once and you're done. If you only do a marketing campaign once, your business probably is going to run into some issues with brand recognition and getting their story told, especially if there's any longevity to the business. So, developing those relationships and trusting the people that you're working with, I think, is just absolutely critical. We had Dave Baker with the Home Fix It show. If you're familiar with him from the radio, he was one of our prior guests. And he made that point from the standpoint of a homeowner developing relationship with trade contractors for maintenance, at the home. So it's really amazing how vet who you're going to work with. And if you're going to engage with them, trust them and let them do what they're professionals in.
Absolutely. It's so important. And just being able to let go and to know that, hey, look, this isn't my specialty.
Yeah.
It's okay. But even in talking about that, I think you might have mentioned it a minute ago, but it's not just with the vendors that you use, but even in developing a team. That was something that I learned as a business owner, is that I want to bring people on that have higher experience and knowledge of the things that I don't know, and when you're a business owner and people that are out there listening know that your heart and your soul and everything is in your business, because people don't know how hard a business owner works and what they give up, what they sacrifice for the growth of their company. So it's definitely hard for us sometimes to let go of certain things, but that's been one of the greatest breakthroughs I guess I've had in my professional career in developing my team, is bringing on people that can take us to the next level, that will be able to do that, because I don't always have to have the control of everything, and I had to it's been a process, and there's even certain things I don't because of a client relationship I might have, but that's something that's been critical for me as a business owner, is knowing it's okay to bring somebody in that might know more than you in this other area, and you'll be able to pull off of their strengths. It's not just one person. It's a team of people, and you've really got to have a team of people surrounding you that have the different skill sets, that supplement for each other, critical in business.
That is such a wonderful point. And I think you would be hard pressed to find a successful growing business where what you just described is not exactly true, because as one person, you can't have all the knowledge. You can't provide all the service. To have any scalability to the business,
you just can't.
The time is not there. Yep. The energy is not there. The brain capacity isn't there. So, yes, regardless of the industry you're in, I think the ability to not only meet but exceed client needs, to deliver services beyond client expectations, and to truly guide a client, you need the expertise and the skills within your team to make that happen, and to make that happen with multiple clients.
Absolutely.
Otherwise you're stuck. And that's a wonderful point. As a business owner, what are maybe some challenges that you've been faced with that maybe either, taught some specific business lessons that you think are really important, or maybe that, a certain solution that you found to that problem you think might help another aspiring entrepreneur?
I definitely think the team aspect is something that has been like a critical thing for me, and even letting go because like I was saying, as a business owner, everything that you have is into your company. You've missed your kids' birthdays, or you've paid them when you didn't pay yourself. The first 2 years that I had SCB, I didn't even pull a salary. The first 2 years, I worked another full-time job, and SCB was just something I hustled to grow, and my daughter was she was going with me everywhere that I could go. So I think knowing all that you put in it, I think makes it difficult to let go of things. But I think understanding that you can let it go to the right people. What you teach them is you teach them your brand. You teach them like what your culture is of your company, like what's your standard. You teach them what your standard is. You teach them those kind of things, and then let them shine in their skill sets, and letting it be ran by the team. Like I don't have to touch everything that comes through, but just I think I can't reiterate the fact of how important it is to have a team around you, because to be able to grow and to provide everything that you want to provide for your clients, it can't solely just rest on you.
Yes.
I was sick, not too long ago. And when I was sick, I was out of work. I didn't work for 5 weeks.
Okay.
And I found out then that I need to get me a number 2 because you want it to roll without you. I think that's another thing too, is that not only having a great team around you, but having processes in place to where if there is an emergency and I'm not working for 5 weeks and the operation still managed through without me having to direct the team on where to go, that there's procedures in place, that it can roll by itself, and there's a process for the creative, the scripting, the production, and the post. That's important. Those processes are key to make sure that everything is consistent and that you do hit your standard.
Yes, that is such a great point when you really break it down to the human dependency on the operation. And what I mean by that is, you have team members that are dependent on that paycheck. That's what pays their house note. That's what puts food on the table. That's how their family gets to go on vacation each year. That funds their household. You have clients that are staking a part of their business planning on the marketing plan that you've presented to them. So yes, there's so many other people in organizations that are dependent on you and your service, that if something happens to you, is SCB in your case, Strawn and Company, whatever the case may be, ABC Hardware.
Absolutely.
Does it still deliver payroll? Does it still meet client needs? Does it keep going so that everyone who's dependent on it still benefits from the mission?
And that's something that I hadn't really ever thought about, until that happened last year. And it was just like, we had one of our key clients. It was one of the largest national brands we'd ever worked with. And like, nobody talked to her because I was like, I need to train a number 2. I mean, I would talk to her on the phone, but it was just like, it wasn't until that moment that I realized, hey, look, I need to let the creative director manage the production process all the way through and even talk with the clients. It doesn't have to always be. I think that was another big thing for me to learn. And then another thing too is like having someone manage your books, because having a separate person manage the money was a game changer for me, because there's pressure as a business owner. You know what I mean? If you have somebody that just says, hey, look, you need to spend more, you need to do less, you need to, whatever it might need to be, but just to have, that's another key player to have in your company. And it takes a lot of pressure off of you as a business owner. Sometimes we want to just keep it for ourselves and not share what's going on or whatever it might be, but having the expertise around you of someone in the finance, that was another game changer for my business. So definitely developing a team, having the standard procedures and processes to operate without me, and also having that person to manage the books separate from the person that's in the daily operations was really, those are some game changers for me. Yeah.
Well, excellent. Thanks for sharing that. Anyone that follows you on social media is well aware that you're always out and doing something. So, and you've mentioned a little bit about your work with Get Set Grow in the past, which it reminded me too as well. They actually helped us in the past. One of our prior guests on the podcast was Haven House.
Oh yeah.
And they helped Haven House with their 5K in the past. But tell us a little bit about not only, what some of your community involvement is, but how has that benefited SCB?
Oh man, I can't tell you how much being involved in the community has benefited my company. I've always said to new companies when I meet them, or if you want to grow in Henry, you serve Henry. And so the first 2 years, not even the first 2 years, we're still at almost everything that happens, but I was involved in every single event, just giving back, putting our brand out there. It does so many things for you because number one, it's brand awareness. You're really putting your name out there for people to know, other businesses, other consumers. Number two, it's going to make you a reputable company because people are going to see you. They're going to see that you're serving. They're going to see that you've got good culture, good beliefs in what you're doing for your company. There's just so many benefits that come from being involved in a community. I don't know that SCB would be where it's at without the community around us, honestly. I mean, I know that it wouldn't. I got involved in the chamber. I started serving on boards. I was at community events everywhere that I could be. And it was just something that helped. We became a community partner to very many businesses in this county and in South Atlanta, and that did so much for our business because whenever they needed video, they would refer us, or when they needed where someone mentioned it, they would refer us. Because what you don't know is that whenever you're out in the community like that, you're representing your company, but you're also keeping, like I always say, brand facing forward, which I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but that's the way I say it. And I want to stay top of mind with people so that whenever they see that we're involved in stuff, we've really got to, there's just so many benefits that come from it. I'm so grateful for Henry County. I'm so grateful for the people that support us because I know there have been people with us since when I got SCB in 2014. Steve Nail over at Nail. There were Steve Nail, Fancy That Fine Jewelry, and Sweet Spot Smiles. Those three businesses were the three partners that we had whenever I bought SCB in 2014, and they're still with us today.
Yeah.
And it's just like they've been part of our growth, and as a business, I can't say how important being involved in the community is because you get, the business partners, the awareness, it's like, you're doing good, so you're sowing good into the community too. So it always comes back,
Absolutely.
So it's about being part of it, and if you can provide solutions, and just be there to serve.
Absolutely. Well, you've certainly already hit on the importance of building out your team. But if you were thinking about an aspiring entrepreneur or maybe someone who's really career oriented in trying to develop themselves, what would be, one or two pieces of advice that you would give them, kind of as they're just looking out at all the possibilities and trying to figure out what to do?
I think definitely something that we hadn't talked about yet that's important in me, and I think even the growth of SCB, is networking. Making a conscious effort to network with other business professionals and not doing it in a selfish way, but doing it with the intent of trying to help someone else. Yes, you're going to build relationships because everything is your relationships. I mean, everything is your relationship. The way you treat your customers, the new customer that walks through the door. And so networking has been a big part of, the growth of our business too. So I definitely think, finding ways to network is a great way to grow your business. Getting involved in the community is a great, way to grow your business, and developing that team that can run it without you. It's okay for it to run without you. You want it to.
Yes.
And so teach it to grow up like that, like guide it in that direction, and don't be afraid of it, because that's when the success is going to come, when you can truly sit back and be the visionary of your brand, or, thinking of how you want the direction that you want your company to go in. You can make those decisions, and then you have a team that you can trust to help execute it.
Gotcha. Yeah. I like one of your sentences in there, teach it to grow up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that a lot. So what are some exciting things going on at SCB currently, or maybe that are coming to look ahead in the future? You got anything new that you can share that maybe folks should be watching for?
Yeah, I think we're really going to be kicking off our campaign about more than one team. We're 9 experts. So that campaign is going to be coming out. We're doing a lot in Henry, Clayton, and Fayette County, and
Okay.
Newton County. So we've got that new campaign that's coming out. We really want to, show other businesses that you can really hire a team of 9 people that are experts in that field for less than you can hire a marketing specialist, and really get more value out of it. So we're really going to be pushing that. Currently, we're located in the square in downtown McDonough. I've recently purchased another building, which is the Old Wings and Things here for people that are familiar with McDonough on John Frank Ward. It is going to be a separate business venture. It's going to be Building 140, but SCB is going to be a tenant in that building.
Okay.
It is a separate company, but SCB will be at that new home location. All of our staff will be there, and then we will have a flex studio space I'm super excited about, that will be able to be used for videography, photography, but then it could also be flipped into a training room for Chick-fil-A to do Chick-fil-A training classes. It could be used for art parties, whatever it might be. We're really going to have a space for the community to use however they want to.
Awesome.
And it's going to be a true collaborative space to where I want people to come and hang out there and come and work. With everything that happened with COVID, a lot of people started working from home all the time. But you need a space to kind of get away to.
Yes.
Sometimes you just need to get away. You need to meet a client. Building 140 is going to be that space where people can stop in and get a cup of coffee, sit outside, sit inside, or have your own single office, that you lease out once a month to be able to come and meet and get away from the home life. Because there is that balance in between. When you've worked in a storefront forever and then you go to completely 100% at home, you need a break sometimes, so that Building 140 will be that space for a lot of people like that. Definitely.
Well, and I think that really fits a need with the rising occupancy costs. The idea of the permanent storefront is becoming more challenging.
Absolutely.
And so, but you may need a professional space for a client meeting or a training session or something like that. And so something like what you're describing, I could see that being a real benefit for a lot of businesses to take advantage of.
Yeah, we're going to have this real cool floating conference room that's going to be floating over what used to be an open 2-story space. We've got the studio space. It's the flex studio space. It's going to be there. It's going to be very similar to where we work. There'll be up to 4 additional tenants in there, not to mention the fact we've got 50 parking spots. That right there's gold in downtown McDonough.
Yes, absolutely.
So you will be able to park in front of your building and walk to it. But it's just exciting for the team as a whole. I love where we're at. We're in the basement of the Clay Plaza. We've been there for, 3 or 4 years, and it was a great move for us. But I'm excited to go into something that's my own and to be able to do, more in it. And I think the whole team's excited too.
We're
actually going to kind of mimic it to look like what this looks like in the new building. So
really?
It's got some really cool. Yeah. So if you've ever been to an office, you walk in the lobby and it's epoxy floors and rust on the walls and pallet walls and exposed brick. So literally the lobby, the wall going into SCB is literally mimicked from the wall that's excellent. In there. Yeah.
And I did have a chance to visit y'all's current location a couple years ago, and it's a really cool space.
You don't know that it's down there either.
Yeah, it's a really neat space. So that's awesome that you're going to kind of carry through to the new location. That's fun.
It's going to be a fun wall when you walk in. So I'm excited about that. We really just want to, partner with as many companies as we can. And like I said, we've worked with anywhere from insurance companies to heavy duty repair, truck shops. We're getting ready to launch a product here in the U.S. Medical clients are another one of our core. We do Dr. Bio videos for Resurgence, Southern Crescent Women's Healthcare, Piedmont. So many medical professionals. We can work with so many different, clients and provide them with what they need to properly promote their business.
Yeah.
And that's what we love doing.
Awesome. So, Michelle, we, obviously with the nature of this podcast, we love to support local businesses and organizations. What are maybe some other organizations here locally that you would like to encourage folks to support or learn more about or get involved with?
Absolutely. So I know that the Chamber of Commerce has always been something that's been really good for my business to grow as well, but it's a great place to network and build relationships. So I definitely think getting involved with your local chamber is key to your business as well as your Main Street communities, because those are the Main Street organizations wherever you're at are going to be the ones that really touch and get involved in the consumers. So you really, as a business owner, want to be able to work with consumers that are out there that could use your product. So getting involved in the main street and always just making sure that it's got the right, that you're involved in the development of it and that it's got positive events that are happening. All that is making your community better. So I really believe that getting involved in like local main streets is a great way to get involved and make your community better as a whole.
Yeah. Awesome. Before we wrap things up, I want to make sure folks know how to reach out to you and how to learn more about SCB. So if you want to share your website or any other contact information with our listeners, that'd be great.
Okay. So you can find us at scbtv.com, or you can also find us another way is getvideoproduction.com. It's a lot easier to say sometimes and more marketable. All of our social platforms are SCB TV ATL. But you can find us at SCB Video TV Marketing on Facebook, Instagram, Vimeo, Twitter, all the social platforms.
Awesome. When we publish the recording and it goes live, we'll include all those links in the postings as well. So folks, you'll be able to get in touch with Michelle and her team, her 9 experts right away. So and again, we can personally vouch that they do a fantastic job. So Michelle, I can't thank you enough for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Appreciate what you bring, not only what you bring to the table as a service provider, professional here in Henry County, but as a community partner. And personally, thank you so much for your time and sharing your story with us today.
Well, I appreciate the invite again, and it's been an honor to be able to share a little bit about SCB today, and even the partnerships, the relationships. This is another example of really how far relationships do go in business. So we appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Our pleasure. So folks, thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. Tell your friends, refer other folks, send the link out so that we can get as many listeners as possible. We appreciate feedback. If you or your organization would like to be featured, our contact information is included below the recording as well. And we encourage you to reach out to us. We'd love to feature you and have you on with us one day. So again, thank you so much for listening, and we hope you make it a great day.